Good morning, everyone. Here we are for another roll reveal. This one's number 719. It's a 1954S plastic tubed roll. Getting ready to get started. How is everybody today? Hope everybody's doing just fine. Let's see, make sure I've got the right roll here. I did not. I don't think. Let's see. I got a 54S scheduled for this coming week. I just want to make sure that I'm doing the correct and proper one. Hang on just a second. Let me check here. Usually I don't have this kind of a problem. Let's see. Okay. I've got it right. Number 719, 1954S. The Lincoln Cent plastic tube roll. Here we go. There it is, and here we go. Let me get my glasses off so I can see what I'm doing longer than reading distance. And here is our roll. And go ahead and crack it open here. Very beautiful looking coins. I tell you what, some of these could be grading quality. Really nice looking stuff here. Can everybody hear me just fine? I just want to make sure everybody hears me and that I'm coming through on your speakers. All right, first coin for Sureg. Let's see what Sureg gets. Well, we do have an RPM. Look at that. Big old wide split lower serif, a split on the upper serif as well. So that's a good start. I'm pretty sure this one's listed. I don't know which one it is, but I'm pretty sure it's listed. So there we have that. Great start. Going to show the reverses of the first 10 coins. Double die reverses are not known on 1954S Lincoln Cents, but we will check just to be sure one way or the other. Good morning, Eric. Hello to everyone here. It seems as though we are going to get a taste of White Death this week. That's right, White Death. I'll explain that just a little bit to you. See, down here in the South, we don't generally get a whole lot of that white stuff. Some of you are very accustomed to in the wintertime. And, well, if you really kind of look at it, you look at it in a very pragmatic manner, we see snow maybe once every 3 or 4 or 5 years. And it seems as though we've got a forecast coming up this week to receive an inch or more. And you have to understand that for the people in this area of the country, when you start talking about accumulating snow, you are basically talking to people in terms they don't understand, and you may as well be telling them Armageddon is coming. Because, well, the White Death is a very real thing that attacks generally most people in the North, and, well, why they don't leave, nobody understands, but we don't put up with that here. And when we do get it, it immediately becomes a severe problem, a severe mess. It's a nice looking coin right there that we have to deal with. So here we call this the White Death because, well, it doesn't bring life. Oh, hey, nice looking tooling marks there. It is where death happens. Life doesn't come with snow. And in fact, we don't even call it thriving or living in the White Death. Even David Attenborough would say that the wildlife of the area is merely surviving the cold in the winter. So we look at those TV shows and it scares the hell out of us, thinking that something is surviving. We don't think we can do that, so we drive 60 miles an hour where the 30-mile-an-hour speed limits are, just to be sure that we get someplace faster so we don't get killed by the White Death that's coming in our direction. We also have to make sure that we have enough sustenance in our houses to survive for the next 3 months. So you need 3 gallons of milk and 5 loaves of bread and a couple of dozen eggs, just in case you have to make pancakes and French toast for the next 3 weeks straight. Because who could ever think to have a freezer full of meat ready for this sort of thing? Mr. Fletcher, good morning, sir. Are you ready to be hit by the White Death? Of course, in your area, I don't think they're forecasting much of anything. But over here, that's right, yeah, 12 pallets of toilet paper just in case this White Death that we have coming to us gives you the shits that you never knew before. I don't think it's the White Death that brings that. I think it's more eating bread constantly. Oh, you're going to be on the WTSP News, Channel 10, Lakeland, Florida. Kevin likes to go and greet people at the bus station and tell them where they should connect, how they should connect, gives them instructions on the buses and the different routes the buses take. And he does this out of his own goodwill. He volunteers his time to go help people. I think that's a very admirable thing to do, Kevin. Not finding anything more than that 1 RPM on coin number 1. Snow brings on spontaneous buying. Well, that is why, yes, that is particularly why we're going to have a reveal show this evening. We're going to be selling some new rolls that you have not been involved in yet. Be sure you're there for that. And then tomorrow, while the White Death is on its way to North Carolina, we are going to be having an auction here on the Copper Coins channel. You can see this is a Woody. Nice looking little coin there. I like it. Let's check, see what the reverse on this one brings us. I don't expect to see much of anything on the reverses on any of these coins, but we're going to try it anyway. Just to see. Got to make sure. Citrus Bus Station Volunteer. Man, I tell you what. That is a really cool thing to do. But there's a lot of people who are very appreciative of having someone there to help them out who knows the system, knows how to get around. Lakeland is a growing community. It's pretty big these days. Used to be a little citrus farming community, but man, it's turned into something big over the last 40, 50 years. Got a convention center there where they hold a coin show every year. I've been to the Lakeland Coin Show a few times. I have a couple of friends who are from Lakeland. You want to do some Green Swamp tours? Where's your Green Swamp, Eric? You talking about down in Florida? Or are you talking about right up there in good old New York State? Heck, you're going to be colder than we are. I don't think anybody from North Carolina is going to want to come up there to survive your cold, to see your green swamp tours if you're doing them in North Carolina, or if you're doing them in New York. Alrighty then. We've got a couple of die chips on that one, not a whole lot more. Let's see what we get for DC now. DC coming up next. On the best of coin hunting videos right here on the Copper Coins channel. Get your commercial out of the way there. Another commercial I've got for you is that we are now producing videos. Some of you have seen them, I'm sure, but there's some who probably have not. These videos are on the Copper Coins channel. We are adding to them. I will be adding to them approximately 2 to 3 per week. The 2 videos I have up right now, the very first one was being able to tell the 1970S small and large date Lincoln cents apart from one another. Very simple ways of being able to tell which one is which without having both in your hand. Out off 98 in Lakeland. Okay, we could do that. Green Swamp Tours with your host Eric Maith. Come along and bring a shotgun just in case we see a gator. Shoot him, Elizabeth, shoot him. I'll bring my pickles with me. Hello, DC. Good day, sir. We got nothing coming up on these coins. I'm actually looking very closely to see if I can find anything, and I don't happen to be seeing much of anything on these. Let's see. What did I get with coin number 12 here? This one's going to Tripwit. Nice bunch of die chips there. Die crack all along the 9. There might be a progression in this bunch of coins. Who knows? And a buy die chip. Die break. By being that it is between the B and the E of Liberty, and it makes what looks almost like an I between them. So by, B-I-E. That's a ugly little fleck of stuff on there. I'll get that off of that. Very professionally removed. There it is. Gone. Bye-bye. All right. Well, we haven't been seeing anything on the reverses. I think we're just going to scrap doing the reverses for now. We're going to move on to coin number 13 here. This one for Indigenous Treasures. Bethlehem, who will also be slammed by snow soon. Look at that. That is an RPM right there. That's a pretty RPM. I hope I haven't skipped any of those. But even if I have a gentleman by the name of Eric Beyer who is going to come along and go through this roll again, making sure that I didn't miss anything. But that is a nice RPM for Bethlehem right there. Bethlehem and the girls. This one could also be a double die. Let's take a better, closer look. See if I can get that to poke out like it should. Sorry, I'm getting you guys seasick here, but nope, it's not poking out the way I think it should. That looks like it could be a vertical bar L. So I'll have to mention that to Eric and make sure he sees that as well. Knows what we're looking for. The buy errors, is that what you're talking about, Eric? So we may have a double die obverse and definitely an RPM on this one. This RPM is very likely already listed. It is a very nice one. Shows to the northeast. Northeast being the cardinal direction you must travel to get from the primary mint mark to the secondary mint mark. So from the mint mark to the doubling. Northeast on that one. This one for Sureg. I'm actually considering the possibility of revitalizing some of the buy information that was originally created back in the 60s and published in 1972, but hasn't been really published much since then. Used to be a Buy-Error Club. That was a nationwide club of people who collected the Buy-Errors. And, well, that did not last through to today, but their book certainly has. And I have an example of their book, which evidently is quite scarce. I've not seen very many of them ever for sale. The primary is always the one that stands out the most. Primary is the one you're supposed to see, the one that you can see with your naked eye generally. Secondary is the doubling. Got nothing on that. Nothing there. Yes, I just wondered how you create a good mint julep out of snow. Inquiring minds want to know. I hear you can make ice cream out of snow, but you have to make sure you don't make it out of the yellow snow. It needs to be the white kind. So a story from last night. I made a pot of chili to eat while we were watching the football games. And it turns out that evidently canned black beans can go bad, because these certainly were. I opened up the can, didn't really think about it, drained the beans, and no water came out. That was kind of weird. So I poured the beans into the chili, and all of a sudden I got this yeasty, chocolatey-like smell. These beans were fermented in the can. It was kind of horrible. But, so I did what any good cook would do. Served a big old heaping of it to my wife. No, I did not. I had the wife come over and take a look. She said, that doesn't smell or look right. I said, you're right. It does not smell or look right. Let's pour this out, put it in the garbage, and go to the grocery store and re-buy the meat and all the other ingredients that we need to make a whole new batch of chili. So that's exactly what we did. Now, in doing that, I missed basically from halftime till near the very end of the fourth quarter of the Philadelphia Eagles and Rams game. And I did, however, while I was eating the finished new batch of chili, which turned out to be delicious, catch the Buffalo and Ravens game, the Bills and Ravens. And interestingly enough, all of the games yesterday turned out exactly as I had wanted them to. Now look at this. That is a buy in the making right there. A buy in the making. Milnot. Mix Milnot with clean snow. I actually don't believe that we're going to get enough to even bother. I don't think we're going to get enough to even bother. That coin was for Dan McCumber, so he's going to get a nice little surprise in the mail. A buy error in the making. Little chip hadn't actually fallen out. It was just a crack. I'm assuming there will be others in this batch. Of course, you know what happens when you assume. Yeah, so this White Death we have scheduled for the near future. I already have a will drawn up with the names of the individuals whom I want to come and take my collection for sale to the family. I have escape routes planned, just in case we need to escape this inch of snow we have coming. And I have blankets and candles on hand in case we lose power during this blizzard. As we have been instructed by our local news channel, batten down the hatches, get your blankets and your candles out in case you lose power, and tune in to WRAL so we can tell you the newest and greatest forecast as this white death comes through. Primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. That's right. So we're going through our pace. Man, I tell you what, this is one of the nicest looking 1954 Lincoln Cents I've seen in a while. Let's see what we've got here. Man, this thing, even though it does have a few little fleck marks here and there, this thing could garner a 66 grade. And that's another one of those buy in the making coins. This one's going to JJ Addict over in Springfield, Missouri, my hometown. Congrats to JJ Addict on a very beautiful looking example of a 1954 Lincoln Cent. He's setting booby traps. You're right, man. I forgot about that. I gotta get my punji sticks and my electrocution rods out, just in case anybody comes and tries to steal my gallon of milk and my loaf of nature's own honey top bread. Hello, Mickey Fur. You got yourself all set for the Armageddon that's coming? Yeah, you're going to end up with over an inch of snow. You never know how Burgonians will act when they see an inch of snow on the ground. And of course, you never know exactly how much you're going to receive. You might get 2 inches. And if you get 2 inches, well, that's almost enough to cover the bottom half of a low-profile tire on a Honda Accord. Cuds on Coins has a similar coin to that by LDB 1954 S005K4BL+. That is a serious mouthful of numbers and letters. Not really seeing much in this 1954 S roll. That first coin turned out to be a really nice RPM. And then the rest of the rolls so far has turned out to be much of nothing. Of course, we've got die cracks, we've got die chips, we've got buys, we've got things like that. But I'm specifically looking for the RPMs and double dies that are possible in a roll like this, and I just have not seen much of anything yet. Mickey, my brother, I'm hoping and praying that we'll all make it through this devastating white death alive. Grease-filled die right there. That's what causes that 4 to be kind of weak like that. Grease-filled die. Same thing up here. Grease filling. Back to Mickey. I hope the best for you and yours and all of your animals, that they don't get buried in the white death. And that everyone makes it out of this alive. I hope you have a bedroom prepared for your goats and chickens, so they don't freeze to death outdoors. And if you're going to leave them outdoors, please just don't tell anyone. have snow shovel will travel. You know, Eric, by the time you could actually get here, driving through this entire snowstorm and blizzard, plus the one that you just received, to shovel out the 1 inch of snow in my driveway, it would probably be just as energy efficient for you to come inside and sit in my shipping room and watch the snow melt off the driveway and look through rolls of coins. 5 degrees. That's 5 degrees in the Kansas City, Missouri area. It is too damn cold, Dan. I've lived in that kind of death-inspiring weather. And although, Dan, you're going to see a huge pile of the white death today and tomorrow, and I pray for your very existence, my man, your temperatures will not get anywhere near as low as those in Missouri or in Minnesota, where Joe Cooper is. You need cigarettes and weed. You need cigarettes and weed like I need another hole in my head. Although the weed part doesn't sound too bad. But Mickey has it all. Chubby Pop Chaser, coin number 31 in this here roll. That is an RPM. That is one of the RPMs that we saw when we first started this roll. Very nice wide split in the lower serif. Nice split in the upper serif as well, plus a lot of extra thickness there on the S. Oh, Chubby, he's probably asleep right now because he works in the late hours of the night. He works until the wee hours of the morning, till the witching hour. You know, that time of day where nothing good happens. Hello, Otis. Otis is going to be able to escape this white death we have rolling into the southeast. Because up there in Ohio, it's just going to stay nice and sunny through the whole period. This isn't another one, I don't think. No, this is a normal coin here. Oh. I am so happy to be doing reveals today, to be able to give you wonderful ladies and gentlemen a break from watching politics on television. So good thing is they're not actually trashing each other right now. It's a ceremonious day in Washington, D.C. Ceremonious day that I prefer to have no part in. Yeah, Eric Maith. Eric, close your eyes, pick a coin, and list it. Look at that. That is a nice die break on the 5 there. I believe this is also, it is an RPM. I have skipped one of these already, I'm sure. But you can see the split up here in the upper serif. You can also see an extra curve piece right here. There's a separation right in the middle of it. That is a nice RPM. Later diastate. Later diastate example. But still a nice RPM. Nonetheless, and this one is for Surag, there will be others in the roll. I did notice, but I did not happen to notice the RPM first time or two through. Going to be producing another video today. The video I'll be producing today will be your definitive guide to the transitional reverse 1988, 1989. Known on the 1988 and 88D Lincoln cents. And for anyone who happens to be asking themselves, what are they talking about with all of this auction stuff? You know, there's a channel on, and actually a group on Facebook that I would encourage all of you to go join who have not joined already. It is called Lincoln Cent Auctions. You can find it by typing that into the search bar, Lincoln Cent Auctions. It's a group by Chris Hurley, which I am the founder of from many years ago, and then I gave it to Chris and kind of left groups altogether. And he asked me if I could come back and help him revitalize that group, and I am. I'm back. And Mickey is there, Dan, Eric, a number of other people that we all know from here on the Copper Coins channel. So if you happen to be out there watching us on video right now and you are a member of Facebook, I would encourage you to go over to Lincoln Cent Auctions and join the group. Going to be having a lot of auctioned things there, auctioned Lincoln cents, and I have a couple that I plan to work toward getting listed. Mickey is an animal when it comes to this stuff. I asked him if he'd help out, and he's basically taken charge. There's a 54S that has that shadow doubling on the 4, much like the shadow doubling that you can find on 1955 cents. It is the exact same cause. This is a braided die wear. Yeah, Mickey, don't mess around. That's why Mickey has become a very integral part of Copper Coins and the Copper Coins channel, since he has accepted my friendship and has been coming around. He really helps out a lot with the stuff that goes on here at Copper Coins. All of these numbers in the flips, he put all those in there. He helped out with the flips. He helps out with the mystery pulls. He helps out with a lot of other things. He has helped me put... I see DC just asked to join Lincoln Cent Auctions. We'll get to that here very soon, sir. But he has helped me put so many things together and helped me keep so much alive here on the Copper Coins channel. He will be in the relative near future, after this white death passes us by and leaves us frailing and flailing in the snow. He'll be coming round to help us with broadcasting. And hopefully by the end of the February month, Mickey will be prepared with all of the necessary tools to be able to broadcast auctions on Sunday evenings. Be able to broadcast from his home Copper Coins Auctions. Looking forward to that very much. Good morning, Carl. Oh, it's a spotty one. This one is spotty. I don't like the spotty coins. Morning, Joseph. Now for JJ Addict, where it is very cold. This one appears to be normal. That may be something above the upper serif of the S. Looks like there could possibly be something going on up there. That would be a north RPM if it is one. I'll pass this one on in the pile to Eric, and Eric will take a good look at it and let me know what he thinks. And if it happens to be anything, he'll get it listed. That's coin number 43. Now on to coin number 44. Dirty Water. Hello, Dirty Water. There's one with a bunch of broken stuff. Broken breaks and breaks and breaks. Not a buy. Pretty late die state looking coin here. All right. That one's for Carl. Absolutely, man. That book. I'll give you a story. It's March 2004. Let's back up just a little bit. There's another RPM for you guys. You can see the split in the lower and the upper serifs. If you look pretty hard, you can see them there. It's kind of minor. It's there nonetheless. March 2004. I have a table offered to me at a show in Oklahoma City by Scott, who happens to be the guy who formed the company AppMex in Edmond, Oklahoma. Anyhow, Scott invited me to come to the show if I'd teach something about pennies during one of the little seminar teaching sessions that they were going to have at the show. Hey, look, there's another RPM. I could set up at a table, bring anything I want to sell. So the idea at the time was that I was going to create some little pamphlets about collecting Lincoln cents. So I started writing my little pamphlets and I started putting them together and then realized this is a book. I may as well continue and finish this as a book. And from March until the beginning of April, I wrote a 300-page book about Lincoln cents. Put it together, took it to a local printer, and had it printed. And they said there was no way they could get it done by deadline unless I came in and actually helped. So I got my mother together with me, went to the printer and set up banquet tables and laid the sections of the book out on banquet tables and collated every copy of that book. So you can be absolutely certain that I have touched the inside of that book. My mother has touched the inside of that book. And that book is one of the first printing books that came along before Zyrus Press approached me to do the second edition. And we ended up hand carrying in my mother's trunk of her Ford Taurus over to Staples every single copy that we finished of that book. And you want to go to Oklahoma? Well, I have a deal for you, Mickey. We've got two different things coming up in Oklahoma that we could travel to. One of them is the Midwinter A&A show that's coming up here pretty shortly, in March, I think. And then in July, there will be an ALPCA, that's the American License Plate Collectors Association, National Convention will be in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Two big things coming up in Tulsa that if we can get it together, we can travel out there together and see those things. You have that book signed to you, Jose? Jose. My name Jose Jimenez. We have found a few RPMs in this roll. We've done pretty well. Got 2 more rolls to open today, one at 10:30, one at 11:30. Gonna try to get these done and get them in the mail before Armageddon hits. That's all I've got for this roll. We have a few RPMs that have been pulled out. Let me get you the names. There are going to be more, however. I know that I have skipped at least 1 or 2. But Sureg seems to have fared very well so far with coins in this roll. And I appreciate it, folks. I'm going to go ahead and pinch out of here and take off. Come back in 15 minutes, and we will be ready for the next reveal that we got coming up today. I'll see you then.